Hey all, welcome back from winter break. I hope you had a wonderful holiday. We are going to jump right in and talk about some sequences and series in this unit. This is a nice short little unit and will get us ready to take our final exam. So the first thing we want to talk about are called arithmetic sequences. We're going to go into what they are and how to work with them. Our goals are to be able to use arithmetic sequences and to also be able to find the D value. We'll talk about what that is. We also want to be able to find the arithmetic mean. Now, here's some important vocabulary that you really need to know, and you need to understand what these different words mean, okay? Make sure that you write these down in your notes because they are very important. The first thing you need to know is, what is a sequence? A sequence is a list of numbers in a specific order, okay? The order of the sequence matters because that's what determines how the sequence continues. Within that sequence, there's an individual number. Those are called the terms. So if your sequence is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 is a term, 2 is a term, 3 is a term, 4 is a term, 5 is a term, and they all make up a sequence. Now, an arithmetic sequence specifically is a sequence that is formed when you add something to each term to get the next one. So to go back to my sequence of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'm adding 1 each time. That is an arithmetic sequence. 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 plus 1 is 3, 3 plus 1 is 4, etc. Okay? That plus 1 is the common difference, or the D value. So whatever you're adding each time is that D value. Now, it has to be the same thing each time. You can't add 1 and then 2 and then 3. That is not an arithmetic sequence. It's a sequence, not an arithmetic one. And we're going to focus specifically on arithmetic and geometric sequences in this section, okay? The last thing you need to know is an arithmetic mean is the missing terms between any two non-consecutive terms of an arithmetic sequence. And maybe we should talk about non-consecutive for a second, because that's kind of a new word too. Non-consecutive means not in order or not following each other. So for example, let's say I have a sequence that is 1, 2, and then I'm missing some pieces here. 2 and 5 are non-consecutive because they're not in order there. I'm missing, if I'm adding plus 1 each time, I'm missing a couple of terms, okay? The arithmetic mean would be, what are these values? And that's what we can find. Obviously, this one's pretty easy. Find the next 4 terms of the arithmetic sequence 55, 49, 43. So the first thing we want to do is we want to find our D value. What are we adding each time? Now notice this is going down. So we are actually adding a negative each time. So simply take 55 minus 49, and we get 6, which is our D value. Negative 6, because we're going down each time. And then I'm just going to continue that with my sequence. So I have 55, 49, 43, subtract 6 more is 37, subtract 6 is 31. I needed 4 more, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. 31 minus 6 is 25, and 25 minus 6 is 19. There is my sequence. Okay, and I found the next 4 terms. Now, obviously, this could continue going on forever. We could just keep subtracting 6, keep subtracting 6, keep subtracting 6. Find your D value, and it can be positive or negative. Positive would be going up, negative would be going down, and then apply that to the next terms to get your sequence. There is a formula, okay? And so for arithmetic sequences, the formula is shown here. A to the n, a sub n, is equal to a sub 1 plus b times n minus 1. A to the n is the nth term. So for example, if I wanted to find the 7th term, I would say a to the 7th, that's going to be the 7th term. If I wanted to find the 100th term, it'd be a sub 100. That's the 100th term. A1 is always the first term of your sequence, whatever it might be. On my last one, it was 55, because that was the first term. D is your D value, the difference, positive or negative, and then N is your position number. So again, if I was finding A100, I'd have A sub 100 equals my first term. I'm just going to go back to my previous one, plus -6 times my n, which is 100, minus 1. And then I can just figure out what the 100th term is from there. We're going to try this, okay? So we're going to find a particular term, and we're going to use this information that we're being given here in this table. How much would it cost to rent the crane for 12 months? Well, the first month is $75,000, the second month is $90,000, third, etc. We could make a whole table and go down to 12. That would take some work and probably be kind of annoying. Let's find our D value first. So we're going up from 75,000 to 90,000. So we're just going to take 90,000 minus 75,000, and we get a D value of 15,000. And I always like to check it just to be sure with the second terms. So is 90,000 plus 15,000 105? Yes, it is. So I know I've got my D value correct. And it's positive because it's increasing. Now I'm going to go back to my formula, which is A sub n equals A sub 1 plus D times n minus 1. And I'm going to substitute in. I want to find the 12th term. So n is 12. My first term is 75,000. My D is 15,000. My N again is 12 because it's the 12th term minus 1. And then I'm just going to evaluate this, okay? So I'm going to start with 12 minus 1 is 11. And then I'm going to multiply 11 times 15,000, which gives me 165,000 plus 75,000. And I get 240,000. Which means that for 12 months to rent this crane, it would be $240,000. That's crazy. But actually realistic. It kind of makes sense. Construction is very, very expensive. So once we know what we're looking for, I could figure out how long it would take me to rent this, or how much it would cost, I'm sorry, to rent this crane for 2 years or 5 years. And then I could decide as a construction company, maybe I just want to buy one of these cranes. If I'm going to be using it this much, does it cost more than $240,000? Maybe I should just buy one for my business. There's a lot of different things that you can use this for to find out a specific term, okay? We also want to be able to write an equation for the nth term. So that equation that I wrote on the previous one to help me find the 12th term, I want to be able to write that generic equation to find any term. So I'm going to start with what I know here. I know my first term, which is 8. I can figure out my D because here it looks like I'm adding 9. 17 to 26, I'm also adding 9. 26 to 35, also 9. So my D is 9. And that's it. This is my formula. It doesn't matter if the 9 is in front or behind. It's multiplying by the parentheses either way. Now I can go down, I can find the 20th term. I'm just going to put 20 in for my n. So 8 plus 20 minus 1 times 9. And I'm going to evaluate this. So 20 minus 1 is 19. And 19 times 9 is 171. Plus 8 is 179. So the 20th term of my sequence would be 179. Not too terribly difficult, right? Once I've got this equation written, I can find any term no matter what it is because I can just plug the numbers in. This kind of helps us find arithmetic means as well. So between 16 and 91, I have 4 arithmetic means that I need to find. I'm going to start by writing these out. Okay, so 16 and then 1, 2, 3, 4 values, and then I get to 91. I don't know what my D is. I do know my last term, my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 term is 91. And I know my first term is 16. So I can plug these in. I can say 91 equals 16 plus 6 minus 1 times D. And I can solve to find my difference. So I'm going to start by subtracting 91 minus 16. and I get 75. You know what? At the same time, I should probably be smart about this, huh? Let's just subtract 6 minus 1, which is 5, d times d. Now all I have to do is divide 75 by 5, and I can figure out that d is 15. So I have found my difference. Now it's telling me find my 4 arithmetic means. So find my missing pieces, which means that I'm going to need to add 15 to each term. So 16 plus 15 is 31. 31 plus 15 is 46. 46 plus 15 is 61. 61 plus 15 is 76. And 76 plus 15 is 91. I'm going to check that just to be sure, and it is. Okay, so I found my 4 arithmetic means here, 31, 46, 61, 76, by solving my equation for D. This equation is really helpful and it kind of helps you figure out a bunch of different things, or this formula, I guess I should call it, once you start plugging stuff in. You just have to remember that n is your position. Okay, so if my n is 6 here, that was my 6th position, which was 91. And then you're kind of plugging in for the different pieces that you know. So I'm hopeful that at the end of this, you can use your arithmetic sequences. You can find that D value, whatever it is. Remember, it can be positive if it's going up, negative if it's going down, and you can find the arithmetic mean, and that this will help you handle arithmetic sequences. As always, this has been brought to you by Conalonzo Inc. We hope that you are enjoying learning math with us.